I have already lit this smoker, but what I want to emphasize is overall pine needles is probably your best fuel overall. It will give you a good thick smoke. Now when you first light it, get it going real good. You want it hot down in there. If you don't, it will go out on you. I've had many of them go out on me. So get it going good, and then you want enough pine needles in there to give you a Hello, good... I'm Tim Durham with Durham's Bee Farm, and we're going to go into a hive that we hived a swarm about 10 days ago or so. When you hive a swarm, wait about 10 days before you go in and check to see if you have a queen or you can see eggs. Now while we're in there, we're going to put this hive beetle buster. They make two kinds. This is a temporary, a one-use throwaway, and then they make a permanent. Now everything I'm going to tell you is my opinion. Everybody's got one. Other people may prefer the permanent, but I, for myself, this is the one to get. It will last you it'll last you a season. And what happens is these holes in the center where the hive beetles go in, down the center, the hive beetles will go down in there to get away from the bees, and they'll get, I don't know if you can see that Western oil down in the bottom, and that Western oil will kill the hive beetles. All right, what happens is by the end of the season, the bees will propolize these holes. So I prefer this one. That permanent one would be a booger to clean up. I mean, it would not be worth it. So that's why I would not get the permanent one. I think they call this an aspirator. You can use this to suck up the Western oil and put it in there, and 1/4 of an inch is plenty. Do not fill this up. Do not make a mistake and fill this up. You don't need it. If you fill it up and you tilt your hive a little bit, that oil will come out of there, and if it gets on the queen, it'll kill her. All right, now we're going to go in the hive. We're going to put these in there, and it's important for this beetle buster to be flush against the frames, so the hive beetles can easily crawl in there. All right, one other thing I want to emphasize: if you think you would like to have bees, I'm here to tell you you can do it. Go for it. You can do it. It's not rocket science. Honestly, it's not. If you don't know how to, if a child doesn't know how to ride a bicycle, they have to learn. But after they learn, it's simple. And the thing is about beekeeping, 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, you'll still be learning stuff. You won't ever learn it all. But you can keep bees, and you can enjoy it. And the emphasis on enjoying. So let's get to it and go through this. Another thing, these cheap gloves are perfect because they're cloth on the back and they fit your hands. You can get them at a hardware store, and the reason I wear them is so when I get in the truck, I don't have a propolis on my fingers and get it all over my truck. This is a decent hive, a decent swarm. So we're going to give them a little smoke. Not going to overdo it. There's hive beetles in here. There's more hive beetles in here than so I'm glad I'm getting these hive beetle busters in here. Now, most beekeepers they want to see the queen. So if you can, have the sun behind you, and don't start on this side, start on the far side and take that frame out. Now these are This is a frame of foundation. Now I took a frame out. All I need to do is take one frame out. I'm going to slide these frames over. Now, when I get to where the comb is, when I pull this frame up, there's a possibility if the queen was on this side of the frame, she'll run around on my side of this frame to get away from the daylight. So I'm going to look on this side, on my side of this frame when I pull it up. Now I don't know if you can see the nectar and the pollen in there. That looks pretty. There's no eggs, so I'm pretty sure she would not be on that frame. Now we're going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to look on this side of this frame when I pull it up. Alright, now I see pollen and nectar. I don't see any eggs. Likewise here. Whoops. It looked like just a few larvae there, but I didn't see any eggs. Now I'm looking for the queen. Now virgin queen is harder to find than a laying queen. She's smaller and she's harder to find. And I may be rushing it. If the queen's in here, I may be rushing it and need to give them a little more time. But I see some larvae in. I see some larvae in there. Yeah, I see some tiny larvae. There's an egg. Okay. She's just started laying. So I'm going to put everything back in here just like it was in the same order. And now I'm going to put the hive beetle busters in here. Now you want them to be flush against that hive, that frame. One just got me on the hand. So that is important. Alright, now we're going to put the inner cover back on there. Next time I come in here, I hope there's less hive beetles since I put those hive beetle busters in there. Hey, the other day I was out at the farm and I was in the living room, knock on the door. So I opened the door and there's a business looking like fella, kind of stern looking, you know, and he held a badge up to me, said, "I'm with the DEA, and I'm here to search your farm, look over all your farm." I said, "Well, why do you want to do that?" Well, that kind of, he didn't like me questioning him, and he stuck that badge further up to my nose. "I'm with the DEA, and I have the right to look over your farm. I don't have to have a search warrant, nothing. I can go anywhere I want to on your farm." I said, "Well, what are you looking for?" He said, "Marijuana." I said, "Well, the only thing I have to tell you is, don't go over here in this field over here now." And he got right arrogant. "I can go anywhere I want to go."
And I realized right then that I shouldn't have told him that. And but anyway, if he hadn't been so arrogant, I'd have explained it, you know. But no, he knew it all. So I closed the door. I bet it wasn't 5 minutes. Man, I heard the worst hollering you ever heard in your life. I mean, you could hear him a mile away. I went outside. I mean that DEA agent, he was getting it. And my prime bull was right behind him, horns and all. And my bull was gaining on him. And I hollered, "Show him your badge! Show him your badge!" I bet he'll listen next time somebody tells him don't go somewhere.